Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're doing awesome. My name's Connor and you're watching Thriving Minimalist Com. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you what I spend money on and how I budget money. So how I take care of having enough money so that I can spend it on the things I need to spend it on. I was asked to make this video per request, and I would really encourage you, if you want to see a video, to post in the comments at any time or send me a personal message. You can find me on Facebook, you can send me a personal message on YouTube, whatever you want to do. If you want to see a video, shoot me a message and I will let you know if that sounds fun to me, and if it is, I'll definitely make it. So, I spend very little money at this point in my life. As you know, if you've watched my other videos, I really don't spend money on clothes or appliances or like technology or like really anything. So my biggest expenditure is food, and I love food. I love food. I love fresh, delicious, best quality food that I can get. So most of my money goes there because I love putting good fuel into my body. It feels like the best investment I can make in terms of things I can buy. So a big part of my monthly expenditure goes to food. I would say $400+ goes to food. That's just for me a month. That's, I think, pretty high for people's supermarket expenditure for one person. However, I never go out to eat, so I never go to restaurants. Occasionally I'll get something at a salad bar at Whole Foods or another salad bar like that, and that can add up pretty fast, but I tend to only do that maybe once, twice a month, and those expenditures are $10+ each time. So my biggest expenditure is on food. After that, obviously, I need a place to live. I could live out of my truck. However, I'm not really interested in doing that. I like having a roof over my head at this point in my life. I'm situated here in Austin, Texas, and if you know anything about Austin, it's growing rapidly, and prices for both buying property or renting property are indeed going up. But compared to other thriving cities, and I'll get into what I mean by a thriving city, it's still very inexpensive. So for me, a thriving city is a city that provides me with everything I need to thrive. So I don't want to just live in a city that's like, okay, you know, that's got like food and running water and electricity. I want a place that provides acro yoga and ecstatic dance and a lot of fun, creative people, and is vibrant and full of life. So if you're not into those things that I just mentioned, Austin has a myriad of other things. It's just it's thriving. There's no better word for it. Austin is the most thriving city I've ever been in, and for that I would gladly exchange money to live there and pay more than living in a city that's just kind of mediocre. Despite that fact, I pay very little for my rent. Yeah, $150 a month I pay to live in a house. It's a shared house, but I have a yard, I have a garden. I'm 15-20 minutes from downtown. I have a backyard that borders the Onion Creek Trail, a huge land mass owned by the state, so it'll never be built on. I love the people that I live with. What can I say? I totally lucked out. So I spend very little on my rent. I used to spend more like closer to $1,000 a month. So my expenditure on rent has significantly decreased, which means that I don't need to make as much money during the month, or that I can spend more money in other places that will bring me more joy, that will help me thrive even more in this life. So that's great. And not all of us want to live with other people, so we might spend a little bit more to do that. Some of us might want to live closer to the city, so we might spend more to do that. You know, whatever best suits your needs, you should spend the money to do those things. I want to spend money in places that bring me joy and happiness. And if it brings you joy and happiness to live maybe by yourself or with more luxuries, closer to the city or a city that's more expensive like San Francisco or New York, you should definitely do that. Another area that I've really lucked out on is my phone. I have pretty close to unlimited data usage. I think it's like a 4G plan, so it's really, really high. I never max it out, and I'm rolled up with my family. So I just contacted my family after spending $100 a month on a phone bill and said, you know, I was running down to the end of my contract. I said, hey, what's the deal with bundling in with you guys? What's the options there? Let's check that out. Turns out 4G, 4 gigabytes of data on a 4G connection, $40 a month. So that's incredible, and that's an option for you guys too. It doesn't have to be your family, it could be your friends. You could get together with 2, 3, 4, 5 people and get a rate that is super, super cheap. So for me, like, I gotta have my phone because I use it as a video camera. I love recording and love making videos. I also work with people, work with clients over the phone quite often. So it's really a necessity for me in my life. Finally, the big expenditure for me that's routine is gas. And it's not a huge expenditure. It's probably $50 a month. If I do some extra traveling, it could be more than that. But I really like to drive. I know some people who just own a bicycle. I own a bicycle too, and I love it. And for those people who just want to do the bike, good for you. That is awesome. For me, in the situation that I'm at, I gotta have a car because I really want to go into the city of Austin and participate in the things that it has to offer. I also really like having my vehicle for short trips out of town, and you can watch my video on Puffandra. Yes, I named my vehicle Puffandra, Puffy for short, and you can find out why I really love the vehicle that I have. So you can check out the video right here. I'll put a link to that. The final thing I spend money on a routine basis every month is on activities. So I participate in acrobatics, I participate in ecstatic dance, sometimes I participate in something called authentic relating. And occasionally there's some other thing that I want to do that's really fun and brings me a lot of joy. All those activities cost about $10. And so I would say roughly $50 a month I'm spending on activities that bring me a ton of happiness and increase my well-being overall. Finally, I have one loan. It's a school loan, and just whittling away at it. You know, it's right now I've got it down to about $4,000 left on the loan. If I wanted to, I could pay off most of that, but I'm happy to just make a $50 payment a month and just kind of see it through. I like having a little bit of money in the bank in case I want to put an investment into a workshop, which I do occasionally, or if I want to invest in something else that feels really good, or if I have suddenly some trip that sounds awesome to me, I've still got some money in the bank that I can spend that on. So I do have a school loan that I'm slowly whittling away at. At this point in time, I have no mortgage, I have no car payments, I have no credit card debt whatsoever. So I have no debt, I owe no one money except for the small school loan, and I feel super, super good about that. We're all at really different places in our financial lives, and I think we all want to be making more and spending less. What I've found is there are so many areas that most of us can really cut down on spending, and most of that has to do with stuff. I think a lot of us work really hard, and as a reward we buy stuff to make ourselves feel good, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think some of us are doing that and finding it doesn't really feel that good for very long. Like, it's not really a sustainable answer. And maybe a better answer is to indeed spend less and work less, have more time for yourself. And when we spend money, to spend money on ourselves, like an investment for sustainable happiness. That means mental, emotional, and physical. And so there's a lot of great things to spend money on. There's a lot of great reasons to work, to have that money to spend money on ourselves. But there are certainly a lot of things out there, in my opinion, from what I see, that we spend money on that we really don't need. So someone did ask specifically about budget. I'm not in love with keeping track of all of my receipts and all of my expenditures and all of that stuff. I have been trying to do it more, but it's not something that I am inherently in love with or great at. And I don't know if anyone is, but for me it seems to be something I just really don't enjoy doing. So I like having my expenditures be pretty routine month to month, so I really know where my money is going. I also like using online banking, and I use PayPal a lot, and so I'm able to track how much money is coming in, how much money is going out very easily. I can just jump online and look at the information. When I do keep a budget, and I'm moving more and more and more towards really keeping track of all my expenditures, because ultimately I do want to do it, and ultimately I do think it's a good thing to do. I have a spreadsheet that was made for me from someone who is amazing at keeping a budget, and she created a very simple spreadsheet on Excel. And it basically, you can just go into Excel and track your monthly expenditures and your monthly income. So I do recommend, if that sounds fun for you and interesting for you, I think it's a great thing to start doing sooner than later. You save your receipts from the day and you compute them right in at the end of the day every day, and at the end of the month, boom, you've got your information right there, and you can see for yourself, wow, I'm really spending too much money on X. I don't think I really need to be doing that. And you can decrease that. If you have any questions, if you think I missed something, if you can't believe I'm living without a particular thing, post in the comments down below and I'll try and clarify or answer your question. And like I said, if you've got a desire to see any videos on this channel come out regarding simple living, minimalism, or if you're just interested about my personal lifestyle, please let me know. Post in the comments, or you can contact me via Facebook or YouTube, and I'll put all that information in the description. If you're not already subscribed, please do. Check out thrivingminimalist.com. Take care of yourselves. Get simple. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.